Today's story is about two neighbors who fall in love, but the circumstances make their relationship incredibly complicated. On one side, there's a boy from a wealthy family who is too afraid to confess his true feelings due to the fear of his family. On the other side, there's an innocent girl from a middle-class family who finds herself torn between the love she holds in her heart and her deeply rooted self-respect. The story begins in a college library. During a writing workshop, the professor asks a girl to share what she has written. The girl responds, "Nothing." Hearing this, the professor remarks, "If you didn't write anything, what was the point of coming here?" However, the girl had actually written something, but she quietly hides the paper in her pocket and leaves without a word. Her name is Rochelle, and she begins narrating her story. Rochelle tells us that she comes from a middle-class family, living in a modest home located next to a grand mansion owned by Barcelona's wealthiest family, the Hidalgo family. This luxurious mansion resembles a palace, but Rochelle's small house stands in stark contrast. She lives there with her mother. The Hidalgo family has three sons: the eldest, Artemis; the youngest, Apollo; and the middle one, Ares, who happens to be Rochelle's secret crush. Rochelle confesses that she loves Ares so much that she has meticulously saved every little detail about him in her laptop, his workout routines, his preferences, and even his dislikes. But the most curious part? She has never spoken to him face to face. One evening, while using her laptop, Rochelle notices her Wi-Fi isn't working. As she checks the router, she sees Apollo sitting outside her window. She asks him, "Are you using my Wi-Fi? How did you get the password?" Apollo casually replies, "My brother Ares gave me the password. There was no signal in my room, so I came here." He then gets up and leaves. Unbeknownst to her, this exchange about the Wi-Fi password sets the stage for the entire story. Later that night, Rochelle is woken up by loud music blasting through her Wi-Fi. She looks out the window to find Ares standing below, playing music at full volume on a laptop. Frustrated, she calls out, "Are you seriously using my Wi-Fi for this? Turn it down and leave." Ares smirks and replies, "You know a lot about me. Well, now I know something about you too." He then cheekily calls her a witch and walks away. The next morning, Rochelle is at college chatting with her best friend, Yoshi. Yoshi jokes with her saying, "Rochelle, one day I'll be your husband." Rochelle just laughs it off, as always. Later, she heads to the college football field where the boys are working out. She's there just to catch a glimpse of Ares. Suddenly, it starts raining, and everyone scatters. Ares begins walking home on foot, and Rochelle, unable to resist, starts following him from a distance. However, after a while, she loses sight of him and begins looking around nervously. In her search, she accidentally falls into a pothole. She manages to stand up, but as she continues looking for Ares, he suddenly appears behind her. Startled, she jumps a little. Ares smirks and asks, "Why are you following me?" Rochelle, flustered, quickly denies it, stammering, "I wasn't following anyone." Ares steps closer, grabs her hand, and writes something on her hand. With a sly smile, he says, "This is your Wi-Fi password, right?"
Because of the Wi-Fi password, I had to hack your entire laptop. I saw all the files on it, and it's full of my photos and information. Why are you doing all this? Ares asks Rochelle directly. Feeling nervous, Rochelle softly replies, "Because I love you, and I want you to love me too." Hearing this, Ares bursts out laughing and says, "You're not even my type." Rochelle, holding back her emotions, calmly responds, "We'll see about that later. For now, just drop me home. I'm scared to go alone." Ares smirks mischievously and says, "Fine, but only on one condition: if you kiss me." Shocked, Rochelle initially refuses, but eventually agrees. As Ares leans in to kiss her, he suddenly stops and steps back, saying, "It's getting late. Let's go." He drops her off at her house, leaving Rochelle feeling confused. Once inside, Rochelle immediately turns off her Wi-Fi and sits down to have dinner with her mother. Later that night, Ares sneaks into Rochelle's room. Startled, Rochelle jumps and asks angrily, "Why are you here so late at night?" Ares casually replies, "Someone turned off the Wi-Fi, so I came to fix it." Ares pulls out a chair for her and tells her to sit quietly. He kneels down and begins to slowly touch her feet, kissing them lightly. Rochelle's heart starts racing, but before the situation escalates, Ares says, "Good night, witch," before leaving through the window. The next day, Rochelle is working at a cafe where her friend Yoshi is also present. Suddenly Ares walks in, and Rochelle tries to hide, but Ares spots her. Jokingly, he says, "Your job seems very interesting," and then leaves after inviting her to the opening party of his club. He adds, "You can bring someone with you if you want." Later that evening, Rochelle arrives at the party with her friend Daniela. Daniela, full of excitement, is thrilled by the lively atmosphere of the club. Meanwhile, Rochelle spots Ares heading toward the VIP area. She tries to follow him, but a guard stops her, saying, "No entry without the password." Just then, Artemis arrives and allows Rochelle to enter. However, even after getting inside, she doesn't see Ares. Feeling disheartened, she steps out through the back door and notices Ares standing alone in an alley. Rochelle approaches him and starts talking. As they get closer, she leans in and kisses him. Ares begins to reciprocate, but Rochelle suddenly pulls back with a playful smile and says, "You've messed with a witch, and now you'll have to pay for it." Back at the bar, Rochelle orders a glass of water. Apollo, already sitting there, comments, "My brother never lets me drink." Amused, Rochelle orders him a drink. Apollo quickly downs it, but he gets drunk so fast that he starts losing control. Rochelle and Daniela help him out of the club, but Apollo panics and refuses to go home. When Rochelle takes out her phone to call Aries, Apollo snatches it and throws it away, breaking it. With no other option, Rochelle brings him to her house, where Apollo falls asleep on her bed. Sometime later, Aries arrives at Rochelle's house. Frustrated, he asks, "Why did you give him a drink?" "He can't handle alcohol, and I knew he wouldn't return home if he drank." Aries looks at the clock and sighs. "It's already 6 a.m. I'll have to wait here until Dad leaves for the office." Aries lies down on the bed as well, and Rochelle silently comes and sits between them. However, Aries begins to touch Rochelle softly, which makes her feel a mix of emotions. Both of them start enjoying this intimate moment together. The next morning, Rochelle shares everything about the night with her friends. Hearing this, Daniela gets very excited and curious. Later, Rochelle and Yoshi return to her house to study. While studying, Rochelle notices a package delivered to her. Inside, she finds a new mobile phone and a note revealing that it's a gift from Aries. Rochelle asks Yoshi to wait and immediately heads to Aries' house to return the phone. Outside the house, she meets Artemis's secretary, Claudia, who guides her inside. Rochelle goes straight to Aries' room and places the phone on the table, saying she doesn't want it. Aries replies, "Returning a gift is not polite, especially since my brother was the one who broke your phone." Rochelle insists, "Only the screen was damaged. My old phone is still working." Saying this, she starts to leave. As she turns to go, Aries grabs her hand and says, "I want to kiss you." Rochelle pulls her hand free and storms out but stops after a few steps. Gathering her courage, she comes back and kisses him. As the kiss deepens, Aries realizes it's Rochelle's first time and gently asks, "Are you sure you're ready for this?" Rochelle nods confidently, and the two share an intense and passionate moment, completely lost in each other. After everything settles, Aries abruptly gets up, his demeanor suddenly cold, and starts playing video games. He casually tells Rochelle to take the phone with her. Feeling hurt by his behavior, Rochelle angrily grabs the phone and throws it in the dustbin before leaving. When she reaches home, Yoshi notices something is wrong and asks her what happened. Rochelle avoids the question, saying, "No studying today, I'm not in the mood." She angrily shuts her window, which directly faces Ari's room. The next morning, Rochelle is attending her writing workshop when she gets a notification on her phone. It's a picture of Aries wearing her necklace. She realizes she forgot it in his room the previous day. Without hesitation, she rushes to his house to retrieve it. When she arrives, Aries is in the swimming pool with his friends. As Rochelle watches, Aries suddenly comes out of the water and jumps into the pool with her. Caught off guard, Rochelle complains, "The water is salty." Aries explains, "I'm allergic to chlorine, so we don't use it in our pool." Rochelle, still annoyed, tells him, "I'm not in the mood for swimming. I just came to get my necklace." Aries leads her to his room and gently places the necklace around her neck. While doing so, he kisses her again, and the intensity between them reignites. They lose themselves in the moment, and once again, things get heated. After some time, Aries suddenly gets up and leaves the room without a word, leaving Rochelle feeling uneasy and confused. Claudia enters the room and starts treating Rochelle rudely, accusing her of not belonging there. Aries, standing outside, hears everything but doesn't intervene. Hurt and angry, Rochelle leaves and returns home. The next day, Yoshi decides to cheer her up by taking her to a party. However, Rochelle's mood takes a turn for the worse when she sees Aries there with another girl. Trying to lift her spirits, Yoshi says, "Forget him. Let's just enjoy ourselves." The party gets lively, and everyone dances on the floor. But Rochelle spots Aries kissing another girl. Her heart shatters at the sight, and she quietly leaves the party. Rochelle, Yoshi, and Daniela head to the college swimming pool to cool off. While chatting, Rochelle starts joking around and playfully pushes Yoshi into the pool. However, Daniela accidentally spills some chemicals into the water. Rochelle quickly pulls Yoshi out, and the three of them run away in a panic. Meanwhile, back at his house, Aries feels restless and uneasy. He tries to connect to Rochelle's Wi-Fi, but finds it doesn't work because Rochelle has changed the password. Aries hacks into Rochelle's Wi-Fi and discovers that she has set the password to something abusive directed at him. Furious, he messages her, "I hate you so much." That night, Rochelle returns home drunk, unable to find her house key. She sits outside her house, feeling helpless. Aries notices her, and, without saying a word, picks her up and takes her to her room. Once inside, Rochelle mutters, "Tell me a story, and then don't ever come near me again." Aries, hesitant at first, begins sharing his story indirectly. He talks about his parents, describing how they openly had relationships with other people in front of him, and neither of them seemed to care. He shares how his father told him to never fall in love because love makes people weak. Aries admits that this fear has stayed with him his whole life, making him avoid love. He confesses indirectly that he left her the last time because he got scared,
scared of the feelings he was developing for her. As Aries pours his heart out, Rochelle quietly falls asleep. The next morning, Rochelle's mother wakes her up. Groggy, Rochelle checks her phone and sees a few messages from Aries, though they've all been deleted. She types out a message to tell him to leave her alone but hesitates and doesn't send it. Meanwhile, Aries checks his phone repeatedly, hoping for a message from Rochelle but finds none. Later, his father and elder brother, Artemis, confront him. They take him into a room and scold him, saying, "We keep getting complaints about your behavior at college. You need to stop running away from your responsibilities and focus on becoming capable of handling the company. Forget about that girl, she's just a distraction." It turns out that Artemis had told their father everything about Aries and Rochelle. The next day, Rochelle is studying with Yoshi in the library when Aries shows up. He approaches her looking remorseful and apologizes. Rochelle gets angry, takes him outside and says, "What did you think? That after everything you've done, you could just apologize, and I'd forgive you?" Aries responds earnestly, "I'm deeply ashamed of how I've treated you. I've never felt this way about anyone before, and I want to make things right." He then asks her to go on a date with him to a costume party. Rochelle hesitates but eventually agrees. Yoshi overhears the conversation and feels hurt because he has feelings for Rochelle. He tells her, "You're making a mistake by giving him another chance. You know he's going to use you and leave you like he does with everyone else. Don't come crying to me when it happens because I won't be there to pick up the pieces." The day of the date arrives, and Rochelle is excited yet nervous. However, Aries surprises her by saying, "We're not going to the costume party. I've made a change in plans to make this moment more special." He takes her to the rooftop of his office building, where he's arranged a romantic dinner under the stars. After dinner, they get swept up in the moment, and their passion takes over once again. From that day on, the two of them start meeting every day, unable to stay apart. Their romance grows intense. Their days together become blissful and full of excitement. One evening, while Aries is having dinner with his family, his father shows him a video of their rooftop dinner. The video also captures their intimate moments, and his father warns him, "I told you to stay away from that girl. If this video leaks, your career and our reputation will be destroyed." Aries, angered by his father's interference, storms out of the house. He heads straight to the cafe where Rochelle works and surprises everyone by taking a job there to be closer to her. The next day, Artemis enters Ari's room and notices a cap lying on his desk. He picks it up and sees an address stitched onto it, the cafe where Aries has been working. Suspicious, Artemis goes to the cafe and finds Aries working there alongside Rochelle. This sight angers him, especially seeing Rochelle with Aries. Determined to humiliate her, Artemis organizes a company party at their home and invites Aries, who decides to bring Rochelle along to introduce her to his family. Rochelle is nervous and worried about whether they will accept her. What she doesn't know is that her mother has been hired as a waitress for the same party. At the event, Aries begins introducing Rochelle to his family. Artemis, intent on insulting Rochelle, signals her mother to serve drinks in front of everyone. When Rochelle sees her mother working as a waitress, she feels deeply humiliated and hurt. Overwhelmed with sadness, she decides to leave the party. As she storms out, Aries runs after her to explain, but she slaps him in anger. Rochelle accuses him of orchestrating the situation to embarrass her. She goes home and cries uncontrollably, convinced that Aries was part of the insult. Days go by without Rochelle speaking to Aries, despite his repeated attempts to contact her. Eventually, Rochelle and Aries end up talking, and both apologize to each other. Aries then asks her to attend the upcoming prom with him. Rochelle, still upset, replies, "It's better if you don't come," and leaves. Back home, she hugs her mother and cries, telling her how Aries betrayed her. To comfort her, Rochelle's mother shares a story. "Do you know why your father never got his book published? He never even took it to the publisher. He was a brilliant writer but lacked faith in himself." She then advises, "If you care about Aries, talk to him openly. We solve the problem, not destroy the relationship." Realizing she may have misunderstood Aries, Rochelle decides to make things right. She rushes to Aries' house to apologize, but Artemis tries to stop her. Despite this, she manages to tell Aries, "I'm sorry," and leaves. Later, she messages him saying, "I'll wait for you at the prom." At the prom, Rochelle waits nervously while everyone around her dances. Aries, determined to meet her, runs toward the party. However, Yoshi intercepts him at the gate, saying, "You're just playing with Rochelle. You'll use her and leave her like the others." Their argument escalates into a physical fight, and Aries drags Yoshi to a nearby pool to talk. Their heated argument turns into a scuffle, and Aries accidentally falls into the water below. Unbeknownst to Yoshi, the water contains chlorine, to which Aries is severely allergic. Struggling to breathe, Aries loses consciousness. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Yoshi runs to Rochelle and confesses, "Aries came for you, but we fought, and I pushed him into the pool." Horrified, Rochelle sprints to the pool and finds Aries unconscious. With Yoshi's help, they pull Aries out and rush him to the hospital. At the hospital, Rochelle stays by Aries' side, helping him recover. Witnessing her unwavering care, Aries' family finally understands the depth of their love and decides to support their relationship instead of opposing it. Once Aries recovers, he makes a life-changing decision. He leaves the business world behind to pursue his dream of studying medicine. Though this decision means they must be apart, 4 months later, Rochelle hosts a reading event where she shares a book she has written. The story is deeply emotional and resonates with the audience, who give her a standing ovation. The title of the book? Through My Window. Her very own love story with Aries. The next morning, Rochelle, missing Aries terribly, lies in bed reading his messages. Suddenly, she notices him sitting at her window. Surprised and overjoyed, the two share a heartfelt reunion.